Don't be scared of the change. Scared to be the new kid.
Hi, my name is Lily Jane, and I have been a YouTuber for about 4 years. And during that time, I've reacted to around 100 Eminem songs. And throughout my journey, I've had around 4 million stans support me. So when I heard that Eminem was dropping a movie called Stans, dedicated to his fans and their perspective on his life, at least that's my understanding, I knew I had to see it. So tonight, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and check out Stans and bring you along with me. Let's go ahead and check it out. The movie starts by defining what a stan is and explains how Eminem's fame spread quickly through print media and the internet. Then we see how stans got access to copies of Eminem's writing. It touches on some of Eminem's controversies and even highlights how Eminem's fame literally multiplied into how some of these fan experience inspired Eminem's creation of the song Stan. Then it moves into Eminem's addiction and his transformation from Slim Shady to Marshall in his music. Next it explores modern Eminem and the album The Death of Slim Shady. The film shows how fans' lives correlate with Eminem's timeline. So we just got done watching the Stans movie, and there's a lot I want to say about it. It felt like more of an examination of parasocial relationship with Eminem more than anything. But as the movie went on, there were moments that made me laugh, or they talked about fan fiction with Eminem, which I thought was really unique too, because that's never a possibility I really thought about with celebrities, so that part made me laugh. But it also had this really intense emotional ending to me, because he just shared how his parallels in his lives helped other people. I found that extremely inspiring. As someone that has listened to his music for a long time, it resonated with me a lot. Now that is just my first impressions. I'll go into a bigger deep dive in my video when I get home tonight, guys. I promised you guys I would go ahead and give my true review on this documentary. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and get into my Stans review and or deep dive. There was 3 topics that really stood out to me. The first one we are going to cover is fan fiction. During the movie, they mentioned that this one stan liked to write Eminem fan fiction. And I am not no 50 Shades of Grey type of cat, but the curiosity is luring me in. So we're gonna do a blind reaction of some Eminem fan fiction. So today, guys, I am on Wattpad, a website known for self-published fan fiction. We'll try this Supernova one. So here we go from Eminem's perspective. Now, how the hell could I do that, I asked her. Her voice was beautiful as I remembered it. My dick stirred when she giggled at me. I fucking know. When Paul came to me with Jenna's number at the plane to Switzerland, I thought I was gonna piss in my pants of joy. Her husky voice gave me chills all over. No, I can't. I'm done. That's enough fan fiction for me today. But see, that would have been a very funny moment in the fucking Stans documentary, because there were dick jokes a little bit everywhere in that thing. And see, lots of good dick jokes in this fan fiction. The next topic I'm really curious about related to the Stans movie was there was a certain stan, and he was talking about PhD research and how he decided to do some look into rap music and included Eminem in the study. So I decided to do a deep dive to see what other people have used their college degrees to dissect Eminem's music. The University of Texas did an entire lyrical and pattern analysis on over 200 songs. It tracked his entire lyrical life story. They broke it down by personas: Marshall Mathers, Eminem, Slim Shady, and mapped the personas to different types of behavior. Some patterns never change, like his unapologetic wordplay. Other personas mellowed out with time, and some personas lost their shock value and their juvenile tendencies. His music isn't just random chaos, it's a whole autobiography in rhyme form. There's also an entire book called Reading Eminem by Glenn Forsberg. It breaks down every Eminem album from the Slim Shady LP to Music to Be Murdered by diving into his storytelling, rhyme style, and how he handles fame. This book treats Eminem like a top-tier writer, analyzing his every word. To me, that is some hardcore stan energy. And the third thing that I am curious about is Eminem's relationship with LL Cool J. In the Stans documentary, they mentioned it very briefly. They said something along the lines like Eminem looked up to him. I did a little bit of searching on YouTube, and I found this clip.
Man, I've been a fan forever. Like, honestly, I've been a fan forever. I know we ain't really had a chance to, like, you know, meet me. I know we met like one time in the Foot Locker.
Yeah.
And you know, that was crazy to me because I had just jumped on board with Dre. Mm-hmm. You know, so it was, you know, I was a little bit starstruck, you know.
And I found this one too.
I don't even know what to say because I don't want to play myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, like, but before we got out the truck, I was like, yo, man, I just want to say, like what you mean to me, man. Like, and I was trying to, like, not make it come off sappy, but I was just like, yo, man, I'm a stan of you.
Now we could see that Eminem clearly considers himself a stan. This leads into my critique. What even is a stan? In denotation, the dictionary definition stan means an overzealous fan. But in connotation, the cultural meaning for Eminem listeners, stan is both the character from the song and the name of the fan base, like Beliebers for Justin Bieber. This documentary leaned on the crazy fan stereotype. Halfway through the movie, it started to feel like being an Eminem stan was cringe or even bad. I wish they showed Eminem's connection to LL Cool J. It shows how music can truly change your life and not just come off as an obsession. Another thing missed by the documentary was I didn't feel like it fully represented the Eminem fan base, focusing only on a few select experiences, when the fan base's internet footprint expands decades. The Eminem fan base is huge, from YouTube reactors who break down his lyrics, to artists like Tom MacDonald even making a song dedicated to Eminem, Dear Slim, which had several references to the music video Stan, to YouTube rappers like Dax with his whole Rap God freestyle series, or another legendary rapper, Juice WRLD, who was influenced by Eminem's freestyle skills and caused him to create one of the longest freestyles in history on Westwood. Eminem influenced a whole generation of rappers and fans alike. They briefly showed one stan with Eminem tattoos and she broke a world record, but a quick search on Google shows countless fans with insane tattoo work. Look at this one I found that's a wholesome shady sleeve, or this one that has a Venom Marshall Mathers. Being a stan isn't about obsessing over Eminem. It's about how Eminem's music and character inspires you. For some, it's catching every single song Eminem drops and decoding all the bars. But for me, it's just a pure appreciation of Eminem's work and his ability to be vulnerable. If this film's goal was to showcase stans, I feel like we got one page out of the entire book. This documentary leaned too much into the denotation instead of the connotation of the meaning stans. I felt the documentary was something you could have watched on YouTube. It felt like a YouTube content creator made it. Any hardcore fan knew most of the information that was in the documentary, so none of it really felt new. It kind of felt recycled. And there was a big disconnect between Eminem and the stans in the film. He didn't meet any of them during filming himself, but he did meet them at a New York premiere, if they could make it. And for me, that made the ending feel abrupt. I get that boundaries exist, but even one question from a stan to M could have been powerful, because there was a point in the documentary where I thought Eminem was gonna pop out, but he never did. As I was watching the Eminem Stans documentary, one question kept dancing through my mind. Why Eminem? Why does Eminem's story break so many boundaries, go across several age groups, and literally change some people's lives? There are so many other celebrities out there, but what makes Eminem's story so much more inspiring? Because the rap industry isn't built to be positive.
You know, my first album, I wrote all the dysfunctional behaviors in the environment that I'm from. You know, I even put them high all the time when I don't actually use drugs. I just knew that they would receive that well with all the other dysfunctional content.
The rap game is built on hunger.
Your breakout album was called Get Rich or Die Trying, right? Was money always your goal?
Well, you know what? Money was always the visible financial restraint. You know, it's because I grew up without finances around me in low-income situation. I would always see opportunities or things that actually taking place that I couldn't be a part of because I didn't have finances.
So that was your goal.
Right.
Eminem's story wasn't about a hunger for money. It was about being deprived.
I want to have a voice. I want to be able to speak and people listen. So when I get to that certain level where I'm going to be able to speak and people are going to listen, then I'm going to tell my side of the story. Other than that, you know, people are going to pass judgment. They're going to say what they want to say, and they're going to make their own conclusions or whatever.
He was deprived of a loving mom, a stable home, and peace. Slim Shady was bulletproof. He could say things that broke every single social rule. Like, if you told your mom, fuck you in real life, you'd get slapped. But you say, fuck you, mom, on a track, and yeah, she might be mad, but she can't censor it. He didn't just go at others, he went at himself, stripping away anything critics could use against him. Other rappers rapped about hardship. Eminem turned hardship into a weapon with words. That's his superpower, making his words untouchable. And he passed that energy to his fans. Take the hate, flip it, and make it fuel. Think of 50 Cent. You picture parties hustling money. Eminem, you think of the chaotic Slim Shady, the vulnerability he showed when he transitioned into recovery, and his surgical skill with lyricism. In the documentary, he says he never went to therapy because writing worked better for him. And therapy is meant to be confidential. So if you think about it, Eminem's music is like a public therapy session. Many stans, including myself, found Eminem early in life. When you live a life of chaos, you can't scream at your parents without major repercussions, but instead, you can hang out by yourself and sing along to My Mom by Eminem. More people in this world are going through hell than living easy. Eminem has proved you can climb out. Like his song, Not Afraid. I've heard that song a million times, but only through this documentary did I see its meaning. Many stans named it as their favorite, and I now understand why. For a lot of us, role models were rare. More than likely, you had anti-role models in your life, people you didn't want to be. Then Eminem shows up saying, if I can change from being the most rowdy human possible, so can you. In psychology, we call that post-traumatic growth.
I have a view of my past, I have a view of my future. And those two things are what we call the context that shapes who I am today. If I go through a traumatic experience as a child, we go through these things and they absolutely can be devastating. And they can cripple us in the present and cripple our future. That's what trauma is when you go through something painful and you let it drive you. Most people use the past as the driver and the explainer. Why am I the way I am? Because of my past. The past is a tool, and I can frame and reframe it over and over and over again. So as I take more and more responsibility for my past in the present, I'm less impacted by it. In fact, I can move on from it and I can be grateful for it and I can be happy for it. But then I can use the more powerful tool, which is the future, and just say, this tool, this future, is shaping everything about who I am today.
We got to experience that transformation alongside Eminem. During the documentary, I teared up a little bit because I realized Eminem really did it. He left the past behind, committed to getting sober for his kids, and he made some really incredible music in the process. That type of character development is so rare. It's the type of arc you see in movies, not in real life. Since Eminem opened the door and invited us to sit down and listen, he has given other people the strength too to better their lives. In a weird way, his music is kind of like group therapy. He's proof that just because you had a shitty upbringing doesn't mean it's the end for you and you can make anything of your future. Even though I didn't feel like the documentary fully represented the fandom, by the end, I realize we all just have our own stories. And at the end of the day, we just want someone to understand and listen to our side, just like Eminem said in his interview. Would I watch the Stan's documentary again? Honestly answering, I don't think so. And I'm still a little bit annoyed too, how they advertised that there'd be the Stan popcorn buckets that look like the pill bottle, but my location didn't have them and I was really hoping they would. They should have rolled that out to all theaters. It just wasn't fair seeing other people get them on Reddit. Overall, I was very thankful for the perspective I gained after watching the movie though. Even though it wasn't the best, I still enjoyed that part. So I end this video with a question to you. How would you define a Stan? Is it just an Eminem fan or is it someone that's crazy? And if you did watch the documentary, please let me know your thoughts and opinions down below because I am so curious what other people think. And lastly, let me know what was the one Eminem song that got you hooked, because I know if you're watching this documentary or this video right now, you must really enjoy Eminem. So thank you again for watching another one of my videos, guys, and have a great day, y'all.